Hi everyone, this is Sheila Peters and we're about to do a stretch body awareness class. We're going to start on our hands and knees. And we're just going to rock forward and back. We've got our hands underneath our shoulders and our knees underneath our hips. And we're just rocking forward a little bit and back. Just to start to say hello to our muscles. And back, here we go. Front and back. Good. Once more. And front and back. Come back to your neutral position and let's wag our tails. So we're going to make our hips go over to the front of the room, to the back of the room. So now you can really feel that in your lower spine a bit. And back. Repeat. To the front of the room and back. And to the front of the room and back. Let's come back to a neutral position and let's tilt our hips under. So we're tilting our hips under, which does involve also our lower back, and then tilt them up. And we'll get into a bit of a curve. And tilt and up. Repeat. And tilt and push the hips up and tilt. And push the hips up. Let's come back to neutral, and this time let's drop our hips over to the side even more. So we're letting our knees stay on the floor, but really pushing the hips down towards the front floor area. And up and over. So you're getting a little bit of a stretch in the IT band, the side of the hips. Up and over. Good. Come up and shift. Repeat. Up and over, and lift, and shift. Last time, and up, and push it out, and lift, and push. Good, come back to your neutral position. Let's bend down on the back elbow, and put that elbow right underneath you, in the center of your body, and we're going to take that front arm, and reach it up, and stretch, straight up. And now let's try and pulse a little bit to the back so we're getting some twisting in the upper spine. Now we're going to come through and slide this hand into the space that you have and go to the opposite direction. You might not get very far. You might have a little wobble there as you push through to the back of the room. And come up, reach it up. How far up can you get? And come down, slide, and go through. Repeat. Lift, pushing with the elbow on the floor to help twist you up a little bit more. Good. And come through and slide. And last time, lift it up and reach. Good. And come through and slide. Come back up to both hands and knees, and in that hands and knees position. And let's shift to the other side. So we've got that front elbow going down. We're pressing down with that elbow to lift the back arm up. And this first time, you won't feel like you can get very far. And then from here, we're sliding through and reach. Good. Coming back up, spinning that upper spine towards the ceiling as much as you can. And come through and slide. Two more. Reach, lift, just opening up and come through and slide. And last time, lift it up, reach way up there. Good. And come through. Come back to your hands and knees position. And let's take the full complement of working through that spine. So we're going to use the hips down and go into your cat. So your lower back's lifting up to the ceiling. Now we're going to push through the hips and let the belly go down and the heads come up. So we're getting an arc cow. We'll roll it, coming up to cat. And push through and come into cow. Two more. Really rolling through that spine, letting the hips help you. Back up. Push through. Going into your cow. Head lifts up. And last time, roll it. Lift it up with that lower back. And push through and come into your cow. Good. From here, let's go into neutral position and go back into our child's pose.
Let the heads drop down. And we're going to reach with our arms. So take a deep breath in. As you exhale, you're going to reach that front arm out, keeping the elbow slightly bent and the shoulder down. Don't let that shoulder come up to the ears. And you're kind of pulling with this hand to get a stretch in the armpit area. And release. Let's take it to the other side. Deep breath in. Exhale, reaching that back arm forward. Again, little grip with your hands there to pull so you can get more of a stretch in the upper rib, armpit, upper arm area, and release. Let's take that again. Deep breath in. Exhale and reach with that front arm. Way out there. Good. And release. And last time, deep breath in. Exhale, reach it out. Good. Come back to neutral position. Let's roll up through their spines. Coming to an upright position. Hands on the knees there. We're going to push back with that lower back. So we're tilting the hips again, just like we did when we are on our hands and knees, but we're working that lower back and then push through and undulate through the spine, letting the head be the end of that whip that happens through the spine, particularly when you're pushing through, up and left. Good, let's take that again. Roll it to the back, push, press, and coming through, lift, and up. Last time, push it, press it to the back, good, and come through, lift, and arch. Excellent. Let's come back to a neutral position and go back into hands and knees position. Let's sort of climb over towards the shorter end of your mat there. And we've got ourselves being supported by your hands there. Shift that front leg out, curl the toe, and press back through the heels. So now we're getting a little stretch through the Achilles and into the legs and underneath that foot. Roll through, really trying to press so you're getting a stretch underneath the toes. Push back, stretch to the Achilles, and push and roll through. Two more. Push it all the way back. Good. Coming forward, and one more time. We're going to push all the way back, pressing out through the heels. Shoulders stay down. We're lengthening through those arms to get into that stretch. And come forward. Good. And neutral. Bring that leg down. Notice if that leg feels any different than the one we haven't worked with. Let's push out with that back leg and press out through that heel, increasing the stretch in the Achilles, gastrocnemius area. And roll through. Really stretch that instep as you keep the toes curled. And press out and press. Shoulders down. Rolling forward, feeling the toes get a little lengthening underneath, and third time, way out there, good, and roll, and come front, and last time, roll it to the back, press it, good, and roll, and come front. Come back to neutral, release that leg, let's go back into child's pose, drop the head down. Let's just shake our heads no, and shake our heads yes. Repeat, shake the heads no, and shake the heads yes. Good. Let's walk our hands out to the side. We're going to make that back hand come onto the top of the hand, the front hand, and keep our hips where they are. So we're getting a side stretch in that spine. Really pressing the hips down so you can open up that side body. And then let's walk around to the other side. Elbows are going to be bent, shoulders are down. Putting that opposite hand on top of the hand that's resting beside you as your hips stay where they are. And just really breathing through this and enjoying the side stretch that happens there. Keep it going. And then come back to your child's pose. See if you've gotten a little farther over because we've opened up the sides, spine, and roll up through the spine. Now we're going to repeat those cats and cows
And we're gonna try and exaggerate it. So let's open up the knees a little bit. And if you've been having some problems sitting in this position, you could be sitting on a block, you could be sitting on a bolster, and in the middle there, and have your legs on either side, so it protects your knees. So let's exaggerate this. Here we go. And hips tilt, reaching all the way back. How far back can you get? You may find you get a little bit of a stretch in that upper quad area. And then push through, we're gonna go all the way through to the floor. So we're going all the way down in that arch. Let the head drop. From here, lower back, pushes back, use your hands to help you. So we're really exaggerating this ripple effect with the spine coming up into your cow, exaggerated cow, all the way down, folding from the hips there. And two more, rolling back, use your hands to help you, push you to the back, all the way to the back. And come up, arch, let the head move. Breathe, shoulders are down, all the way down. We have one more. Here we go. Push it back, rolling, stretch, all the way. Excellent. And come through, lift, arch, and come down. Let's come back to an upright spine here. Stacking the spine up. And let's just take some shoulder rolls. So both shoulders go forward, up, back, and down. Front, lift, back, and down. Two more. To the front, lift, back, and down. Circling to the front, lift, back, and down. Reverse that, and to the back. Lift, front, and down. To the back. Lift it up, front, and down. Two more, to the back. Lift, front, and down, and reach to the back. Lift, front, and down. And then just shimmy those shoulders down. See how they feel. Let's go back to our hands and knees position. We're gonna bring our arms a little bit farther forward. And we're gonna take that whole work with our spine and hips and extend that whole ripple. So from here, we're starting with our hands slightly farther forward. Lift the hips, the hips go forward and the lower back goes to the ceiling. Now ripple the hips forward, drop the hips down, and you're holding yourself into an arch or an extended cow position. Good. Now we're going to stick our derriere out, so we've got that cow happening here, and we're going to come back and ripple through that spine and go into a child's pose, and your hands may want to slide closer to you. Repeat. Lower backs come up to the ceiling as the hips come forward. Undulate through that spine. Hips drop. Lift the head up and feel that arch. And repeat. Lower back arches back. And going back, using the hands to help you go into your child's pose. Adjust the hands if you need to. Settle just for a moment. Coming up, lift. Cat, push through into cow. And pushing back with those hips all the way. Excellent. Drop it down into your child's pose. Elbows bend, hands might move. Once more. Really noticing the journey. Do you feel like you're getting more undulation through that spine and opening up the spine a little bit more on this last time? Maybe you're arcing up a little bit higher in the body. Good. Pushing back, arch, rolling through that spine, and come down into your child's pose. Let's bring our arms down past our feet, clasp the hands together. Taking a deep breath in, we're going to exhale, then lift our arms up. Trying to straighten the arms, but we're opening up through the shoulders. Your shoulder blades will be squeezing together. How far up can you get those arms there? Opening up, shoulder, collarbone, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Good. And then gently lower and release. And let's inch out onto the floor. So we're going to be belly down on the floor. Good. Now, we're going to take our arms out in front of us, and our legs are pointed and they're in a parallel position. we're going to be just doing a little bit of abdominal work on the floor. So from here, deep breath in. As you exhale, you're trying to pull the navel up to the back. So you've got a little hollow there, and you've lifted your abdominal muscles up off the floor there. It's not super high, but you can really feel the abdomen working, and you may feel also a stretch in that lower spine. And then release and let go. We're going to take that 3 more times. Here we go. Deep breath in. Exhale, pull the navel up to the spine. If you're feeling like you can't get very far, if you want to think of pressing the hips down as you lift up through that navel, that might help you get a little bit more space there. You're really engaging that core, and then release and let go. 3rd time, deep breath in. Exhale, pulling that navel up to the spine, feeling that little hollow that you're creating underneath your belly. Deeply engaging the abdominals, and release and let go. Last time, deep breath in. Exhale, pull, navel up to spine. You'll feel that lower back sort of lengthening out as you engage the abdomen. Reaching up, and then release. Good. Now let's take some work with our arms and legs. And we're kind of doing the opposite thing. We're going to allow our weight to go into the floor on our belly as we lift our arms and legs up. So we're contracting the lower spine. So deep breath in, exhale, and lift. So still you want to engage the abdominals. You don't want to just be letting them go. It helps if you continue to think of your navel connecting up to your spine, but you're pressing down with that belly, going into the Superman flying position here. And then release and let it go. Let's take that again. Deep breath in. As we exhale, we're engaging the abdominals, navel to the spine, but we've got a little arc in that lower back as we lift both the arms and legs and pretend we're flying. Good. And release. And breathe. 3rd time, deep breath in. Exhale, lift the legs, engaging the abdominal muscles, reaching out, trying to lengthen and working that core. Good, and release. Let it go. Last time, deep breath in. Exhale, reach. Lengthening out, way out with those arms, way out with those feet. The feet are pointed. Engaging the abdominals, good. And release. Bringing the hands back down towards your rib cage. Push back and let's go into a child's pose, bringing those legs a little closer so you can really settle into that position and allow that lower spine to stretch out after that work. And then let's roll up through the spine and stack that spine up so it's nice and straight. Let's take a little arm work. Again, if this is a position you don't like sitting in because of knees, you can use your bolster, you can use a block and sit on that and have your legs on either side. We're going to take that hand, put it on the outside of that front thigh, and reach this arm forward, pressing with that hand against the thigh. Twist and open out. Way out to the back of that arm. Reach forward, lift up. Try to follow the hand with the eyes and reach. 2 more. And reach forward, lift up. Open and reach. And 1 more time. Reach forward, lift up, open. Feeling the opening in that armpit and shoulder. Let's switch it. So now the front hand goes against the back thigh. Reaching that back arm up. Use the pressure of that hand to twist you all the way to the back. And this first time you might feel like you can't get that far back, but we've got 3 more tries here. So watch that hand. Twist, reach and open out. Good. Bring it to the front. Lift up. Twist and reach. You may find that you really are able to open this up a little bit more. And last time, come forward with that arm. Watching the fingers, lift, twist, and open. Good. We're going to reverse that. So back hand comes against the front thigh. Reach that front arm to the back first. Lift it up and come to the front. And I want you to focus your attention as you do this in that shoulder area and see how much that shoulder is moving in this circle. And reach to the back, twist, lift up, over, and to the front. And we have one more. Reach it to the back, lift it up, over, and front. Switching hands. Here we go. Now the back arm's going to go to the back, pressing against that thigh to open up that shoulder and armpit and collarbone area. Reach to the back, way out there. Lift up, over, and to the front. Two more. Reach it to the back, twist it, lift it up, over, and to the front. And last time, reach it to the back, lift, up, over, and to the front. Good. And once again, shimmy through that whole area. See what's going on. Maybe you feel like you've got a little more openness there. Let's go back to your hands and knees position. And again, come a little bit farther forward. And we're going to swing that front leg round in front. Slide the back leg out so you've got a diagonal line here and you're not on top of that kneecap. And we're just working it again through the hip. So we're going to press our hips forward. Curl the toes under in the back and come to a lunge. Still keeping that hip going down towards the floor. Knee comes down, toe releases, and press. Three more. Curl, press, lunge. Knee down, toe releases. Curl under and press. Knee goes down, toe releases. And curl under and press. Knee comes down, toe releases. Now we're going to take a little push back with our hips. It's going to start to work on the hamstring of that front leg. Be gentle. If you don't come to a straight leg position, that's fine. You can have slightly bent knee, but you want to make sure you're really pushing back with the hips, feeling the fold in that front hip flexor on that front leg and drop over. Foot will come into a point, and you're going to notice you really do get a good dedicated stretch to that hamstring in front. Come up, bend the knee, push through, undulate through the spine, maybe come a little bit higher up onto your fingertips to help that hip go into a good stretch, and then press back, push, folding. Hip goes back, feel the spine lengthening along that leg. Good hamstring stretch. And come up, forward, breathe, press. And if you can, lift up to the fingertips a little bit more, arc that back a little bit so you get a little more stretch through the front of that back hip. Okay, let's go push back. This is our third time into this hamstring stretch. Way back there. Good. And come up, forward. Last time. Excellent. Coming up as high as you can. And if you're able, let's bring our hands to our knees and give a little push back. So we're arcing up in that back a little bit. You might find that you have a little wobbling here. This is a balance, but that hip's getting a deep stretch. And come down with the hands and push back into your hamstring stretch one more time. Really allow the elbows to be bent, shoulders are bent, feeling that stretch. Good. Come forward enough so that you can shift and bring that leg behind. And let's go back into a child's pose. Heads are down. Notice if the leg that we had in front feels different from the leg that we had in the back. They both got stretched in different places. And then let's come back up. We're going to shift, bring that back leg forward, and then slide that back leg out. So we're really feeling again that diagonal stretch along that leg, and the hips really feeling that quite a bit. Good. Curl the toe under and come up into your lunge. Feeling the hip going down towards the floor. Knee down, toe releases, and press that hip forward. 3 more. Curl the toe under, come back into your full lunge. And knee comes down, toe releases. 2 more. Curl it, press it, lunge. Knee down, release the toe, and hold. Last time. Curl it, toe, stretch. Really feel that hip going down towards the floor as you lengthen that back leg. And knee comes down, toe releases, and press that hip forward. Now here we go into stretching that front hamstring. So we're gonna push back with the hips. One leg might feel a little different than the other leg. So we're going into a straight leg, as straight as you can get so you can feel that hamstring stretch. Head is loose. Let's shake that head out a little bit. Shake the shoulders out and then wiggle the hips a little bit so you're not holding any tension there. Come up, push, and press. Lifting the upper body up. Feeling that stretch through that front of the back hip. And lengthen. Hamstring on the front leg is going to get some lengthening. Feet point. Pushing those hips back, elbows are down. Really trying to increase the length of the back of that front leg. Coming up, forward, press. Bring the hands into a fingertip if you can and let that upper body come upright a little bit more. So you're getting a little more hip work there. Come down, press, pushing back. How far back can you get that? Way out there. Good. And then come up. Forward. Here's our last time coming front. We're going to push up with those hands, and then I invite you to put your hands on that knee if you can, and press with your hands so you're opening up the chest to the sky a little bit, and you feel more of a stretch on that back hip. And again, you might be wobbling a little bit. That's pretty normal. Good. And come down. Now ease off. Bring that leg behind you and go back into child's pose once more. Heads are down. Take a couple of deep breaths. And let's roll up through the spine. Let's take a sit facing front. And you're going to fold your right leg in front of your left. You're making a triangle shape here and getting the divine flesh out behind you. You don't want to try and pull those legs too close to you. You really want to have this nice triangle that's going on here. Let's take some rolls forward. So we're going to start with our head. And in this position, we're going to roll the head down. We're folding from the hips, letting our weight go forward, and we're going to slide the arms out as we let the body go down. Now we're going to feel a stretch on the outside of the hips, going into the outside of the thighs. 4 deep breaths. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale, reach the fingers out and try and lower the body over a little bit more. Second breath. Inhale. Exhale, reach and extend. Repeat. Inhale. Exhale and lengthen through that spine as you fold a little bit closer to the floor. And last time, deep breath in. Exhale, reach and lengthen. Way out there. And then walk your hands up as you realign the spine, coming to an upright position. Let that head be the last thing that comes up. You stack that spine up. And let's reverse it to the other side so that the other leg is in front. Again, divine flesh out. Backs are stacked up tall. And curl the head front. Slide. Now this is the second time we've done this for your spine, even though we've got the other leg in front. So it might feel like it can get over for this first stop in a little bit farther. Here we go. Deep breath in. Exhale, reach the hands out and slide. Repeat. Inhale. Exhale and reach. 2 more. Breath in. Exhale, reach the hands out. Make sure the shoulders are down and the elbows are bent. Folding from the front of the hips there in that hip flexor. And here we go. Last time. Deep breath in. Exhale and reach. How far over can you get? And then walk yourself back to an upright position with that spine. Excellent. Let's switch legs once again. So we have the right leg in front. And let's take some side spine work. So we've got the divine flesh out from underneath us. We're going to put the elbow towards the floor. If you can get the elbow out and on the floor, great. This hip stays on the floor. Reach the arm over. And here we go into a side stretch. Feel that length that goes from the hip all the way through the side body, armpit, and hand. Now we're going to push with the bottom hand, roll up, and slide to the other side. Here we go. Reach, elbow down, arm up, and bring it over. Again, opposite hips on the floor. How far out can you get that arm? Coming back up again. So you're rolling up on the side body and then rolling down on the side body, reaching the arm over to increase that stretch. Come up. Let that roll happen. Roll down, slide, and arm goes out. Let's take it again. Pushing up, roll. Now we're going to go to this side and we're going to stay here as that arm comes up and over, and we're going to exaggerate this position. So here we go. Deep breath in. Lift the hip off the floor and then push the hip down, trying to keep the body where it was. Let's take that again. Lift it up. Inhale. Exhale and press it down. 2 more. Lift it up. Inhale. Exhale. Press it down. And last time. Lift it up. Inhale. Exhale and press it down. So you're really far over there. Good. Coming up on that slide. Good. Let's go to the other side. Reach. Arm comes up and over. Feeling the opposite hip on the floor, press it down as you reach through the side body into the arm there. Deep breath in as you lift the hip up. Exhale, press it down. And lift it up, inhale. Deepen that side stretch as the hip goes down and you exhale. 2 more. Lift it up, inhale. Exhale, press it down. And once more, lift it up, inhale. And exhale and press. Good. Let's roll to the center and come upright. Excellent. Bring the legs together. Let the legs go out. Let's beat them out a little bit at the thighs there. And then let's flex the feet. Push out through the heels. Balls of the feet and point. Toes come up. Flex. Balls of the feet and point. And toes come up and flex. Balls of the feet and point, and toes come up and flex. Balls of the feet and point. Let's come back into the flex, toes and up. Good. Open the legs out. Get the divine flesh out from underneath. And let's take some rolls through the hip to open up the hip. So we're going to keep this leg where it is. We're going to roll and allow this hip to go inwards. And your upper body's going to go with it. And then we're going to press the hip down. This stays still going upright. And we're going to open the hip and allow the torso to go in that same direction. So this is stationary. This is your anchor. Rolling and twisting. And maybe each time you can get a little bit more range of motion and open. Now, as you roll this, you're going to find that you're lifting up off the floor with that hip. That's fine. And come down, press, and open. And last one. Roll it, press it, and push. Good. And come down, stretch, and outward motion there in that hip. Come back to neutral. Sit up tall. Just notice how this leg feels compared to the one we haven't worked with yet. So now it's this time for this leg to stay as the anchor, and we're going to work through this hip. So we're rolling it. We still have a flexed foot there. So this first time you might feel like you're not going very far. Come down, maintaining this position with that leg, and this one rotates out. And second time. So maybe the second time you can feel like you can get a little more twist in the torso over to this direction. Hip really rotating in. And come down, rotate it out. 2 more. Roll it, twist it, rotate. How far out can you get? Causing that upper body to really twist. And come down, rotate, and open it out. And we have 1 more. Roll it, twist it, all the way, really opening up in that hip joint. And come down, rotate out. Excellent. And come back to neutral. Bring the legs together and shake them out. Okay, let's go back to that diagonal position that we ended in. Again, check that the divine flesh is up from underneath, your back is straight, and let's take some circles through those ankles. So we're really working through the ankles, trying to help them to really open up and release any tension that they might be holding. You get to a real good idea of how much activity our ankles can do when you take those circles. Let's reverse it out. So it's the little toe that is doing the drawing here. So the foot is going to sort of twist a bit as it comes up and around to the front. Let's take another one. Big circle. Good. And release. Good. And just shake that out. Check that you're still lifted up out of those derrieres, and let's flex the feet. And now we're going to push out with these legs in this direction. So we're sort of reaching out in that direction through the hip there. So we're going to push out. It's not going to be much of an action there. And come back in. Push it out on the other side. And come in. Repeat. Pushing it out. And in. Left. Push it out. And in. Good. Bring the legs together and shake them out. We're going to open up the legs to a little bit wider diagonal position and repeat that reaching out through the hips to the feet. So let's flex the feet. Divine flesh is out. And this time let's start with the left side. So now we're pushing it out. And what's happening is you're getting a little bit of stretch in the upper thigh there. And release. And push it out. And release. Let's take that again. Push it out and release. And push it out and release. Just notice where you are. You feel like you've activated that upper thigh area. And bring the legs in and shake them out. Okay, let's sit back on our mat just a little bit. Bring the legs up. We're going to open the legs, put the feet together, and get the knees going out to the side, holding onto the ankles, and keep that back straight so you can feel how wide you've become on the inside thigh area. Let's come back up again and open and press it out. Two more. Coming back to neutral and press it out. And last time, coming back to neutral and pressing it out. Excellent. Come back to your neutral position, open the legs up, and let's drop down into a 90 degree position here. So you might have to adjust so you get that knee on the mat there, if that feels sensitive to you. So really check your positions. Now we're going to use the arms and the hips at the same time. So we're pushing this hip forward, kind of like what we were doing before, and making that arm go out. So you're going to be reaching way out, sort of off to the diagonal there, keeping that hip working. And now we're bringing the hip back with the elbow bending, and you can use your hands to help twist you as you press this hip down and the elbow goes behind you. So here we go. Press the hip, reach, stretch, lengthen. How far out can you get? And come in, elbow, bend, hip, and twist. So not only are our hips getting some action here, but our spine is getting some work too. And we're working on diagonals. So we're going from one back diagonal to the other. Hip is back and down with that elbow going. And now to the front diagonal, feeling that hip work, reach, and come in. Elbow goes down to the back diagonal as that hip goes back to the back of the room. Come back to neutral and just come upright to your sitting position and fold over to the other side. Make any adjustments you need to so that you still have the 90 degree angle there. Now this hip is slightly off the floor to begin with, but we're going to push through that hip, reach the arm out and stretch to the diagonal. Now this first position on this side isn't going to feel as easeful as it was at the last time on the other side. Hip goes back, elbow goes back. Use your hands however you need to twist to the back, keeping that hip going down. Now the hip undulates and goes front, twist, and reach. This time might feel better. And hip comes back and down as the elbow goes, using the hands to help you get into that little spiral twist there. Push through the hip, reach, stretch, and lengthen. Good. And come back, elbow, bend, hip, and twist. And here's our last time, really pushing through that hip. Reach, lengthen, way out there. Hip goes forward, arm reaches as far as it can. And come back in, hip goes down, elbow goes back, and feel that nice twist. Good. Come back to neutral, bring the legs up. And let's once again bring the legs up and just notice how the legs feel into the floor. Let's take a little rock from one side to the other here. We're going to glue your feet together. Good. And rock. And rock. Good. Sitting up tall, let's let our feet be relaxed. You can have a little space in between your legs. Divine flexions up. And let's do a little work with our heads. So we're going to drop the heads down. Swing the chin over to the right shoulder. Come back to your side position. Coming up to that diagonal. Chin up to the ceiling. Feeling the opening in the front of the neck there. Going back over into all of those positions. Chin goes to the shoulder, drop the chin to the chest. Repeat, circling around to your right. Nice smooth position all the way up. Breathe, holding on to the abdominals so you keep the rest of your spine nice and long. Drop it down and around. Stretching out the back and the sides of the necks here. Coming up, front of the neck, around, breathe. Come down into the side of the neck there and to the back of the neck. And one more time in this direction. Really exaggerate that position, that circle. The chin is the leader here, all the way around. Drop it down and come back to chin to the chest. Reverse that, circling around. And one direction might feel a little different than the other direction. All the way around, breathe. And you might hear some crinkles and some noises in your neck, circling over to your left, pushing to the side position, up to the diagonal, and all the way up, coming around, all the way down to the shoulder, and chin to the chest. Repeat, circling, keeping that back straight. Lift it up, all the way around, good, to the side. And down, and we have one more. Drop it down, circling, breathing. Spines are long, up, around, and down. And roll the head up to an upright position. Good. And then just shake that head out a bit. All right, feet point, legs get engaged here. Divine flesh out, and let's take a forward fold. Arms up, lift up, out of the hips. Now we're folding from the hips. We're going all the way down, lowering the torso to the legs. Head goes towards the floor, hands are on the floor, elbows are bent. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, reach the hands out. Again, breath in. Exhale, try to fold a little bit more, reaching the hands out. Third time, breath in. Exhale, fingers inch out, trying to lower the body more close to those legs. And last time, deep breath in. Exhale, reach those hands out, heads go down. Elbows are bent. And now we have a little grip with our hands on the floor there. And pull the spine by gripping on the floor and bending the elbows so you get a little farther over. Deepening the hamstring stretch here. Good. Reach the arms out, lift, and come upright. Shake out, and let's take that with a flex foot, which is going to deeply increase the stretch. So again, get your divine flesh out from underneath you. Feet are flexed, arms up. Lift up out of the hips, folding into that flat back position first. So we're reaching out, almost like you're trying to grab something, and then lowering, folding from the hip flexors, drop the body down, heads go down, and just hang.
breath in. Exhale, inching those hands out and lowering the body closer to the legs. Again, breath in. Exhale, inch out and lower. Third time, inhale. Exhale, reach and stretch. Last time, inhale. Reach those fingers out and fold over. Now again, we're trying to feel like we've got sticky fingers here into the floor. Elbows are down, and let's take a little pull. Still holding from the hips. So we're increasing the stretch in the hamstrings there. Way out. Good. Reach the arms out, come upright, and beat the legs out. Excellent. Okay, let's go onto our backs. So let's take our knees and bend and get backs nice and straight. We're going to roll through the spine. You can switch your hands so that they're holding behind so you can really engage the abdominals as we go all the way down. Pressing the lower spine into the floor and then lower the upper body onto the floor. Arms go out to the side and bring those knees up a little bit higher to your derriere so that your feet are under you, the knees are up to the ceiling. And we're going to take a little bit of abdominal work on the obliques. So bring the arms up over the top of the head, clasp them together and bring them underneath your neck there. Press that lower back into the floor and we're going to take a lift up. And now we're going to bring the back elbow towards that front knee. Coming back to center and down. Repeat that. Lift it up and twist and center and down. So we're engaging the abdominals and the obliques and center and down. Lift them up and twist and center. Let's go to the other direction. Here we go. Lift. Twist the front elbow to that knee, keep the lower back to the floor, center, and down. Lift it up, and twist, and center, and down. Two more. Lift, and twist. Press that lower back into the floor, keep the knees straight up, and down. Last time, up, and twist, and center, and down. Now we're going to go all the way up with the back elbow to front knee on that diagonal. Up, come back down. Press it up and down. Lift it up and down and lift. We have four more. Coming up, twist and down and lift and down. Keep that lower back towards the floor. Engage the abdominals and up. Other side, 8, here we go. Twisting and down. You might be feeling this and down. Lift the elbow up and down. Breathe up. We have 4 more. Keeping that lower back into the floor and back. And lift. Going back down. 2 more. Lift it up and down and and down. Excellent. Release the arms. Let's hug the knees into the chest. So we're stretching out that lower back. And then bring the legs up. Rotate the legs out. Flex the feet, which already might give you a little bit of stretch on the backs of the legs. We're going to bend the knees, keep our feet flat as if they're on the ceiling, and make the knees go out towards our armpits. Hands are going to go to the inside of those legs onto your heels, and we are now in a happy baby position. That's what it's called in a yoga class. And we're going to be really pressing our heels down as we work this. So from here, deep breath in. As we exhale, we're going to press down to open our knees up a little bit more so we're getting a little more stretch in the inside thighs. From here, let's point the feet, and now using the hands on those heels, open the legs up, and you may not come to a complete straight leg. Go to where it works for you, but we're getting a deep inside thigh stretch there. Flex the feet, come back into your happy baby position. Deep breath in. Exhale, press the knees down to the sides of the armpits there, point the feet and stretch the legs out. Deepening the inside thigh stretch, keeping the lower back on the floor.
Good. Flex the feet. Come back into happy baby. Elbows are bent, shoulders are down. Deep breath in. Exhale, press down with the heels, pressing the knees into the floor underneath the armpits. Point the feet, extend. See if you can create more space there in that inside thigh. Good. Come back into a flex. Bend, happy baby. Here's the last one. Deep breath in. Exhale, press down. Pressing out, opening the inside thigh. Point the feet, extend and lengthen. Way out there. Keeping your body right where it is. Let's see if we can flex our feet on both sides and then push through and point. And flex out and push through and point. 2 more. Flex it out. Push through and point. And last time, flex it out. Push through and point. Now we're going to just fold the legs in. Knees to the chest. Bend both legs down and hug them in. You can either hold with your hands here on the knees, or you can clasp the hands together and get those knees in the crook of those elbows. Good. Deep stretch there. Good work. Now let's lower the legs down, coming to the knees up to the ceiling, arms out, and we're going to just drop the knees over to the side. So now your back hip is lifted off the floor. And take a little press forward with that hip on that diagonal stretch out through that hip flexor. So from here, deep breath in. As you exhale, press that hip forward on that diagonal line. You get a little arc through the whole body. It opens up and stretches out that hip flexor there. Rock it back. Deep breath in. Exhale, press it forward. And allow it to rock back. 2 more. Deep breath in. Press it forward, lengthening through that hip flexor, thigh, quad area. And release. And we have 1 more. Press it out. Stretch it. Good. And release. Now bringing both legs up, come to your upright knee position, and just notice what that hip feels like compared to the one we haven't stretched yet. It may feel like it's more settled into the floor. So let's rock the knees over to the other side. You have this now front hip lifting off the floor there. And we're going to take a deep breath in. Exhale, press that hip off onto the diagonal line, opening up this whole area. And release. Breath in. Exhale, lengthen, push it out. Enjoy this stretch. And release. 2 more. Deep breath in. Press it out, way up there. Good. And come back in. And once more, inhale, and then exhale and lengthen. So you're pushing the knee away, hip up, trying to keep the shoulder on the floor as much as you can. And really enjoy that bowing action that happens through that front of the body here. Good. Release it. Come back to your knees upright to the ceiling, and then just settle in with your back and notice if both hips now feel they're equally settled into the floor. Good. Let's roll over to the side. We have our knees bent. Heads are to the side. Our legs are just folded here. And just take a deep breath in. As you exhale, see if you can just settle into the floor and let everything relax. Let's take that again. Deep breath in. And relax. And then slowly roll up. Heads left, hand comes up. We don't want to jar that spine. And then come to a sitting position. Folding one leg in front of the other. You know the drill, divide flesh out from underneath so that spine is nice and long. You may feel like you've grown a couple inches taller. Let's bring our arms out to the side, breathing in. Hands come together. Bring the hands to the chest, to the heart chakra. And fold from the hips and give thanks to your body. May the rest of the day be full of joy and light, and have you be as flexible in your attitude as you are now in your body. Have a great rest of the day.